Hi guys, you're welcome to the channel, and in today's video we'll be drafting a crop top bustier. Okay, so I'll be showing you guys how to properly tighten your underbust, okay, and also how to do your proper overbust tightening. So if this is what you're interested in, please stick around with me till the end of this video. So now I have my basic half scale bodies drafted already, though I've not yet included the dart for the front part. So I have the basic bodies drafted already. In case you are still confused on how this is done, I have a detailed tutorial on the channel. I'll leave the link in the description box for you guys. So now let's get straight into the tutorial. So this is my basic half scale body. So the basic measurement that you'll be needing for this crop top is your bust measurement, your waist measurement, your under bust measurement, your shoulder to wherever you want your length of your crop top to be. Here for this, I'm making use of the shoulder to my waistline. Okay, so those are the basic measurement that you'll be needing for this tutorial. So now first thing first, I want to include my dart now, my waist dart, because I haven't included the waist dart here. So my nipple to nipple is 7 inches. Okay, so 7 divided by 2 will give us 7.5 inches. So sorry, 7 divided by 2 will giving us 3.5 inches. So I'll be imputing my 3.5 inches here. That is to my bust point. I'll impute my 3.5 inches to my bust point. Okay, so now after imputing my 3.5 inches to my bust point, what we're going to do next is the dart intake here I'm using for my waistline is 1.5. That is for the both dart leg. That is 0.75. That is 0.75 inches. 0.75 inch, sorry. So what I'm going to do now is to take out my dart, 0.75 on this side and 0.75 on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is I'll come down here by 1 inch, okay, and make a connection. Now, why do I have to come down here by 1 inch? One is to avoid that kind of to avoid any pointed edge at your underbust at your bust line when you are done sewing your fabric, when you're done sewing your fashion fabric, and also to make room for the bust to sit. So that's the main reason why I came down by this 1 inch line here. So the next thing now is just for us to go up here. Okay, I have to go up here to the shoulder line and divide the shoulder line by 2 inches. By 2, divide the shoulder by 2. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to be connecting this part here. I'm going to be connecting this part to this line, to your nipple to nipple line. So I'll make the connection like so. Okay, I'll make the connection like so. So the next thing now is for us to determine our cleavage line. That is how exposed you want your bustier to be. Remember, we are making the strapless crop top bustier. So what I'm going to do now is determine, that is how low you want your cleavage to be, how you want to show your cleavage. So for this, I'm making use of 7 inches. Okay, so I'm making use of 7 inches. So this is the 7 inches here. Let me draw the line. This is 7 inches here. Okay, so then for the center front here, I want the sweetheart neckline, so I'll be going in by 8 inches. So what I'm going to do now is to connect my line like so. Okay, so after connecting your line like so, what we are going to do now is to tighten our overbust. This is the overbust area. Okay, so what we're going to do next is to tighten our overbust area. Now, how do we tighten the overbust area? Now, on this side, for an average person, you use 0.75 inch. Okay, that is 0.75 on this dart leg and 0.75 on this dart leg here, making 1.5 all together. Okay, but for a bigger size, you can make use of 1 inch here, 1 inch, that is 2 inches. So what we're going to do now is to connect this point here to the bust point, but make sure that you go up by 1 inch. Okay, make sure you go up by 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'll make the connection like so, and I'll also make the connection like so. Okay, so now we've successfully tightened our our overbust area. So guys, after doing your overbust tightening, so what I'm going to do next is to connect this line. Remember, it's a tube top. Okay, so is to connect this line here. You're going to keep your curve like so. Okay, and connect from this point here to the armhole line here. So this is how you're going to go about it. Okay, or you can use your free hand to make the connection. Okay, let me use my free hand for the sake of it that doesn't have the ruler to make the connection. So I hope you can see that. So this is how you are going to go about it. Okay, so now we've successfully done the overbust tightening. So the next thing that you're going to do is to through this line. That is to make sure that, because you see this line now is not straight. Okay, so definitely there is going to be shortage. So now how do we correct that shortage? you're going to take your you're going to fold, you're going to be folding this. Let me put it this way. So you're going to be folding it like so, okay? Oh. So you're going to be folding it like this. You want to correct that shortage. So you're going to be folding it like this, and you will just smack it. You can see that the line doesn't align, okay? One is longer than the other. That is what we want to correct here. Then you will just connect the line. I hope you see what I did. I just took it from here this way, okay, and I connected the line like so. So this is how to make sure that your pattern matches up before you finally cut out, okay? So this is now our new line. Here is our new line, okay? So now, after doing your overbust contouring, the next step is for us to do our underbust contouring. Okay, I've actually done this in one of my videos on how to draft a princess that bustier, but I'll show you guys how you can do that on this pattern as well. So now I already have, you measure out your shoulder. So you're going to be measuring out your So you're going to be measuring out your shoulder to your underbust length, okay? So now this is my shoulder to my underbust, which is 14 inches. I already have it marked out for the front. Now for the back, how do you determine your underbust? Even though we don't have the underbust at the back, to avoid any form of guesswork where you are contouring your underbust, it's advisable for you to locate the underbust on your back. That is the underbust length on your back, okay? So now how do we get the underbust length on our, because it's obvious that we don't have the bust at the back, so how do we get that? So now I already explained this in one of my videos on how to draft a princess that bustier, but I'll still go over it here again. So now remember, the front length is longer than the back length by 1.5 inch, okay? So now what you're going to do now is you're going to be going up here, okay? You're going to be going up. This is the back, this is the back part, okay? This is the back part. So you're going to be going up. You're not going to be starting from the actual 1 inch line. You're going to be going up by 1.5. So if your front length is longer than the back length by 2 inches, by 3 inches, you make sure that your tape should start from that actual number that your front length is longer than the back length by. I hope you understand. So my front length here is longer than the back length by 1.5. So I'm going to be starting from that 1.5 and measure out 14 inches for my underbust length. Okay, I'll measure out 14 inches for my underbust length. Don't worry, I will show you guys at the end of the day, and you'll get to realize that the front underbust and the back underbust actually aligns. Okay, so I'm going to be rolling the line. Successfully identify our underbust length for the back and also for the front. Now, I've told you guys earlier on that the major reason why you are identifying this is for us to have that perfect pattern and for us to eliminate any form of guesswork, because I understand the fact that some people get confused when it comes to the amount of inches that they get to like add or to remove at the underbust length to have that perfect fit. Okay, so that is the major reason why you have to identify this. So there are different methods that you can use to contour your underbust. There are different methods that you can use to contour your underbust, and this is one of the several methods, and this method is very, very good. So now that's about that. Now, how do we now determine the amount of inches that will be taking out our underbust length? Now, this is what I'm going to do. My underbust is 31 inches. So 31 divided by, we'll be dividing 31 by 2. So 31 divided by 2 would give us 15.5 inches. So now let's measure what we have at our underbust length and see the remaining inches. So now this is it. So now what you're going to do now is you want to measure our underbust circumference. Now you're going to be measuring from this part to this part. You're not going to be measuring that line, okay? You're going to be measuring that line. You're going to be measuring from this part here, which is 3 inches. So you take the 3 inches to the other that leg here and measure out what we have here. So at our front we have 8 inches, okay? So you still take that same 8 inches and go to your back under bust line. So the back here we have how many? We have 16.5. Let's just make it 16.5 inches, okay? So you have 16.5 inches. So that's 16.5 inches. Now remember, our That's 16.5 inches. Remember that our underbust circumference is 31 inches. Okay, so that 31 now divided by 2 will give us 15.5. Okay, will give us 15.5. So the 15.5 now minus 16.5, we have 1 inch extra left here. So it is that 1 inch that we're going to be using to contour our underbust. I hope you understand. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be taking this other part to take the larger part of it. So here at the underbust here, I'm just taking 1 inch here. Okay, we're just taking 1 inch here, then we're just taking 1 inch, and we're going to be connecting the remaining. The 1 inch will just go for this other part here. For this other part, this part is okay. So that instead of taking out another half inch and half inch, we'll just take the remaining the 1 inch at this part, so that if this place looks smaller, the bustier will look funny. So leave this part the way it is here, and let's contour this other part here. So what I'm going to do now, this is my 1 inch. I'm going to be connecting it like so. Okay, I'm going to be connecting it like so, and I'll also connect it to. I'll take my curve this way and connect it to my bust point. Okay. So I hope you get what I just did. Okay, so this is it. So make sure that you don't have any sharp points. Make sure you don't have any sharp point. So this part is going out. Okay, so this part is going out, and also this part is going out. So we've successfully contoured our underbust. We successfully contoured our underbust. So now what is the next step for us to take? We have to confirm our measurement. Okay, so my bust measurement is 9.5. So let's see whether we have 9.5 here. So now this is 3.25. So I'll take my tape and take it to this point here and measure 9.5. You can see that we have shortage already. So you're going to be imputing your 9.5 here. I hope you get. So one thing about pattern is once you are done once you are done making the alterations, they need to confirm your measurements so that you will not run short of fabric. Because once you cut, let's say assuming I cut this now, definitely I'm going to be running short of fabric. So you make sure that you confirm your measurement before finally transferring your pattern to your fabric. Okay, so now we've already imputed our bust measurement. Okay, so now the waist measurement here, I'm working with a waist of 7.25. That is 29 divided by 4, 7.25. So what I'm going to do now is to measure out what I have here. I have 2.5 here, so I'll take it from this part and move over to this place here, 2.5. Then I'll measure out 7.25. So you can see that we have shortage here. So I'm going to be putting my 7.25 and I'm going to be connecting it. Okay, I'm going to be connecting it. So this is it. So we've successfully drafted our back piece. Now for the front piece, what I'm going to do for the front piece now is for the back piece is this. We are going to be remember, we are going to be depending on how low you want the back to be. First thing first, let's input our nipple to nipple measurements here. Okay, let's input our nipple to nipple measurements here. So the nipple to nipple measurements I'm working with is 3.5 inches. Okay, so from this new line here, this is the back side, this part is going out. So from this new line here, we're going to be imputing our 3.5 inches here, imputing our 3.5 inch. So you make to have a straight line up, we're going to be measuring from this part to this part. We have 4.75. So we're going to be taking the 4.75 here, okay, and measure it. Then we'll connect. You just want to have a straight line, okay. You don't want to have a straight line to connect, okay. So this is it. So now remember, I'm not adding that to this back bodies, but I want to tighten this part to avoid any form of gaping. So what I'm going to do now is, before we tighten that part, let's determine our back neckline. Okay, let's determine our back, how low we want the back neckline to be. So let's say I want it to be by 8 inches. So I'll just make the connection and take it up here. Okay, I'll make the connection here. So this is the back. This is the back. So now to avoid gap, okay, to avoid gaping at this part here, I'm going to be taking in half inch here, okay, and also half inch. I'll also do the same thing here, half inch, then I'll connect it. Okay, so to avoid any form of gaping, so I'm taking half inch here. So you can do 0.25 on both sides, 0.25 here, 0.25 here. So now we are going to be confirming the measurements. Okay, so now here we have, that is from, you measure from here. This is a dart, this dart is going out. So you measure from here. So here we have 3.5. So that 3.5, you're going to be starting from this second dart leg here, 3.5. Remember, we are looking for 9.25. Okay, we're looking for 9.25. So 3.5. So here is my 9.25. Hmm? So here is my 9.25. Now for the waistline, we're going to be looking for 7.25. So this is 3 inches here. So here is take it like so and measure out 7.25. I hope you understand what I just said. Let me go back again. Now I'm confirming the measurement. Okay. So now what I did is this. Remember, this is the dart that is going out, and here also is a dart. Okay, here also is a dart. Now we want us to confirm this measurement to actually see whether the measurement is correct or is complete. Okay, because after taking out this dart, definitely there's going to be shortage on the pattern. So now what I did is our bust measurement is 9.25. That is my bust divided by 4 is 9.25. So I'm going to be taking my tape on my bust line, on my chest line here, and measure it. That is from this part here to this first dart leg here. I have 3.25. Okay, so remember this part is going on, so we will not be including this part on our measurements. So that 3.25, this 3.25 here, I'm going to be taking it like so here. I'll bring it here, okay, and measure out the complete 9.25 for our bust measurement, which is here. I hope you get that. Then for the second part, for the waistline, my waist is 7.25. That is my waist divided by 4 is 7.25. So from this line here to this first dart leg here, I have 3 inches. Okay, so that 3 inches, I'm going to be taking it starting from this second dart leg here, because we don't need this part again. Okay, so starting from this second dart leg here, I'm going to be taking the 3 inches from here and measure out 7.25 inches. I hope you get. Then you make your connection. Okay, you make your connection. So our pattern is ready, guys. Our pattern is ready. So this is a bustier, a strapless bustier. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to cut out. So I'm going to be cutting out like so. So guys, sorry, I forgot. Remember, our front length is longer than the back length by 1.5. So I forgot to add. I'm so sorry. So now you are going to be taking in the 1.5. So in case you forget, definitely you're going to have issues, because when you are joining, your front length is going to be longer and to do good issue. So you need to close it on your pattern before you transfer to fabric. So now this is the bust dart. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to close this bust dart so that our front and back can actually align. So I'm going to be I will open this pattern here. Okay, I'm going to be opening it, then I'll be closing this dart here. I'll be closing this dart like so. So guys, you can see that our pattern is ready. So our front side and our back side, you can see that is matching up. Okay, you can see that it's matching up, and you can see that the underbust length that we took for the back and that of the front is actually the same. So that is I hope you can now understand the logic behind taking the underbust length for the back. Okay, now before I cut out the back, I want to show you guys something. Now we have to make sure that this pattern is equal, like the two sides here are equal, because one in as much as we have leveled this part, there are times that it might get to have issues with this part not being equal with the other side here. So we have to make sure that it's equal. So that is the sweet part of pattern drafting. So now this is the underbust. Okay, so I'm going to be matching the underbust part here. So this underbust, two underbust, now I'm going to be matching it together. Okay, so this is it. So let's see whether it's equal. Okay, if it's not equal, that means you can see that we have, okay, there's no shortage here. There's not actually a shortage here. So I'll just trim it. So this part is equal, the front part is equal. Now for the back, before I cut out the back, I would like to label it to avoid mix up along the line. So here is my up, this is the up, make sure you label it, and this is the center back. Okay, and this is the inseam. If you don't label it, because it looks the same, the side and the inseam looks the same, definitely I'm going to be mixing them up. Then here is this is the inseam for the center front, for the center back, and here is the inseam for the side, make sure you label it well. Here is up, okay, then here is down. Make sure you label it. Here is down, or you can even create an arrow, okay, you can create an arrow, okay, then here is the side. Here is the side, so we can now cut. So this part is going out, okay, then this part is going out as well. This part is going out, so our back pattern is ready. So this is it, guys. So let's assume you don't want to you want to close this and have only a single piece on your only a single piece. So you can definitely do that, but before that we have to check whether this is equal or not. You can see that it's not equal, so I'll just the inch left here is not that big, so I'll just trim it out. So I'll just trim it out here. So I would love to make it one piece. Okay, I'd love to make it one piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be closing this. Okay, I'll be closing this here to have one piece. That means I'll not be having that on my back piece, so I'll be closing that part. Now I'll show you guys how to close it. So I'll be closing this part like so. Okay, so now also close here. So guys, we already have one piece. So instead of me to be cutting 4 pieces for the back, I'll just be cutting 2 pieces for the back. So I've closed the dart. So you can decide to close the dart for the back and make it into one piece, or you can leave it separate, okay. And here is my front. So guys, this video is getting so long, so I'll be uploading the sewing tutorial for this in my subsequent video. So if you haven't subscribed up to now to this channel, please do well to subscribe and also turn on your notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. So thank you guys for watching till this time. So I remain Jamila and I'll be seeing you guys in my next video.